Alright, greetings all. So, there's going to be a buzz in the background, off and on. We've got the fan going, Roger's mixing paint, all that stuff. So, today we're going to talk about 3 comic books of the classic X-Men run series. I've got this one, we've got this one, and then I have this one. Now, not all my comics are in bags. Those are just because I'm never going to have them graded. Hey, Feely. I'm never going to have them graded, first of all. If you're going to grade your comic books, you're going to keep them in bags until you get them graded. Then they're going to put them in special bags that they seal. I think they seal. I don't know. They used to seal them. I don't know if they still seal them since I haven't had it done in a while. But, and that's going to keep it prestige and keep it from yellowing. As you can see that this is where it's gets yellow. So I a lot of the classic X-Men, I like the backstories, which is why I bought it. I mean, I originally bought it. You have yours sealed also. I don't seal mine, as I said, but just because I want to read them. I want people to be able to read them and look at them and whatever kind of stuff. I started buying the classic X-Men because I had bought as far back as I could go with my income. I had gone as far back as I could go with my money, for buying the original thing. So, Classic X-Men kind of started, like I said, as an overlap about where I started collecting X-Men. So, it worked out because then I had the stories there that I could read that would continue the stories that I already had. But then I started enjoying the stories in the back because they're kind of to me like the what if stories, even though they're not really what if stories. So this first one we're going to look at is number 8 of the classic X-Men. And you remember I can't actually read these straight across, so we just kind of look at some stuff. This one, I don't know where my glasses are. Oh, we might have brought them here. Again, 1975 is when the repeats were from. And then the backstory of this one, I love that picture. There's a Phoenix picture, one of my favorite ones. The back picture is about Phoenix. It's the portraits of the X-Men from issue 100, brought to you by David Cockrum. And so that's what this story here is about. This story right here in the back is one of my favorites because it kind of gets more into the story of how Phoenix becomes Phoenix, how Jean Grey, what happens to Jean Grey and Phoenix. Because when they first wrote it, they killed her off, right? Well, they didn't technically kill her off. They gave her this immense power, right? And then she became the Phoenix, and that was a whole run on itself. And then she went off into space to help save something, and she died. And then Scott, ends up meeting Madeline Pryor, and then there's a whole other thing that goes on with the Goblin Queen. You then find out that Jean Grey and Madeline Pryor Madeline Pryor is a clone of Jean Grey, so she should have been able to hold the Phoenix Force, but she was unable to. And then we meet Rachel Summers and a whole bunch of other stories. But I like the art, which is different than the original art from that time period. I like how this art looks. I like how they did the art there. But it talks about how flesh withers under the savage onslaught, yet her spirit soars higher, more fiercely defiant than ever. So quick, so brutal, can hardly see ultra violet, clouding my eyes with cataracts. Because she's aging, technically, because of the Phoenix Force that's coming into her. But the reason that she ends up this way is because she's the only person who can pilot. So she determines that she's going to pilot the X-Men back to Earth because she's holding things together with her telekinesis. Right? And then it says, this isn't fair, this isn't right, not what I fought so hard. Light behind me, an explosion, are we on fire? Don't be foolish, can't be anything I can see. Because I'm blind. What then, a hallucination? Pain? It's gone. No, no, I won't die, I won't give up. Not while so much still depends on me. And then so you see how they did a more in-depth style of her dying, right? And that becomes kind of a thing too, because the art in this. So this is one of my favorite stories. I didn't really like the original Phoenix story. It wasn't really a thing. And it says, all that is known to me, I have known you, Jean Grey, from the moment of your conception, as I have known the universe. You cried out for aid, I heard, I came. And so the Phoenix Force is telling her that she has come to help her. And it says, this is crazy, I'm crazy. No more than any finite being confronting the infinite. Your form, child, is so fragile. How could you possibly endure? It says, I must. And then that's because she talks about her love about Scott Summers. And it says, that image cast from my soul, oh my love, I have never seen you look so beautiful, the essence of my hopes and dreams. All that almost was will never be. And so that, it's kind of a sad little story about how she talks about her sacrifice, right? Because she's making the sacrifice for the X-Men. Right? Now we know, right, in this one, yeah. We know in the forward of the future of the, hang on, I don't know. I know that he can withstand Magneto, though, so possibly. But it's a mystic thing. It's created by the stone that he has. We know in the future that Jean Grey doesn't die. She becomes encapsulated, which I think they show right here. They kind of show that idea that she's being encapsulated, and that the Phoenix is going to go on to become her while she technically heals. It says, and the Phoenix and her become something together, but it's not her. It's like another clone, really, if you think about it. So, and she talks about that. She says, who knows if that's the right choice, it says. I didn't think there'd be a body, when she went together, so then she saves her body. Because she thinks, the Phoenix thinks that she's Jean Grey, but Jean Grey is still encapsulated. The story, though, this classic X-Men story, is the war between two X-Men, but one X-Men's not real. The other X-Men aren't real. They were created. Remember, they're in the Cheyenne Mountain, or the big mountain there. And you have these people fighting each other. Right? And they show, you kind of know it, you start to figure it out, because here they show Xavier standing up and everything, and he's, can't do that yet. And then they find out, oh no, they're robots, right? They're not real, they were captured. It says, how, by all that's holy, how can this be? The new X-Men would have died, not my Sentinels. And the X-Men will die, for this game is far from over. And they're all, like, completely shocked, because they don't realize what's going on. Like, what? What happened? And remember, they went to space. They're not in the Cheyenne. They're in space at this time. Like there was in the Umbrella Academy. I haven't watched all that. I watched the first season. That was kind of trippy. I couldn't get into the second season. So we have... So here's where, this is the original story printout from here. This is the original story about how she meets the Phoenix Force. Because she's trying to carry she's flying the ship, so, and she says to Storm, a last favor, my friend, will you tell him I love him? And then it says, okay, lady, it's time to do yourself. So she's using the ship because they beat the Sentinel guy, right? And then she knocks out Cyclops, and then she is going to carry them to Earth. And this is the picture we get of it, which is really spectacular, the way they did it with the reds and the oranges and all that, right? And then so then in this story, this is where we meet Phoenix here. So, this story is okay. Don't get me wrong. It's like one of the most spectacular stories in the whole run of the Jean Grey. The third's a little weird. Yeah, well, and sometimes I think you run out of things to talk about. Something becomes really popular, people like it, and then you run out of things to talk about, so it's like, whatever, you know. Oh. So, we have the classic X-Men here, right? This is the next one, number 9. And in number 9, we're going to learn about the Phoenix. And here's the backstory. The backstory is going to be about Kurt. And again, these are the stories I really enjoyed in this. Because they were written after. The reason I enjoy them is they were written 10 years after the original creation of some of the characters. So they're like, whoo. I liked Heroes. Heroes was one of my favorite. Yeah, but you're right, towards the end there. And Lost is another one. Lost was weird to begin with, but then towards the end, because they were kind of just keep going because, you know, it's a money thing. And people wanted more of it. So then it was like, well, I don't know. And I think that happens in any series. So anyway, we have The Gift. And The Gift is about Kurt. And how he feels, you know, about having to hide himself, you know, and wanting to be himself at the same time. So he meets this young person who's waiting for somebody. They're both waiting for somebody, and ends up, so he takes this young man out and learns more and more about him, you know, and you find out that he had ran away from home and he wasn't really waiting for anybody, and so they chit-chat quite a bit, and Catch Me If You Can, Mr. Slowpoke, and they're playing hide and seek and tag in Central Park, and he shows him how he can juggle, and he starts to teach him how to juggle. Right, and it says, you know, he teaches the young man how to that thing, and he gives him this new enlightened look and takes him home, and how they'll get together, and they'll at the end he decides he's made this friend, you see, and he wants to show him his true self. And he says that that was an illusion, this is the reality. I wanted you to know the truth, whatever the cost, because I consider you my friend. And then the young man says, wow, I thought there was something different about you, Kurt, but I never imagined, I never dreamed. Fantastic. Not afraid of my pal? No way. And hey, Kurt, don't worry about your sick lady friend. She'll be fine, trust me. And then, so see, that's the story. And then he goes and he shows up, and he finds out that Daniel died he finds out that Daniel died in the hospital, because that's who the character was. And so he's all whistling and says, excuse me, nurse, I'm looking for a friend, a lad about 12 named Daniel Cameron. I'm afraid you're too late. I beg your pardon? This is Daniel. He died last night. Poor thing. Cancer. There must be some mistake. Last night I saw, I spoke, I touched. A ghost? Who were you waiting for, Daniel? The Reaper? Why did you show yourself to me? Was that an accident or coincidence? Or perhaps an answer to a desperate prayer? Who was trying to comfort who? Whichever, it worked. So, that's makes you kind of sad. It's a sad little story. I really like those kind of stories. But then the original classic X-Men, some of the artwork in this is just so spectacular. Like that one. Love that one. With the Phoenix. I drew this picture for my nephew. This one's pretty cool. See? And here she rises, and I am the Phoenix. Hear me, X-Men. No longer am I the woman you knew. I am fire and life incarnated. Now and forever, I am Phoenix. And so then they scoop her up, and they take her back. I think that a lot of people were very disappointed by the movies, by the fact that that is not how we get to see her become the Phoenix, But still. And then they find she was sick, and then they have a doctor come, and the doctor says that she's going to be fine, and Scott has a big wham moment, because he says, you're going to be all right. Oh, Jean, thank God, And so Xavier comes back to try to take care of everybody, but he tells them that they're going to have a holiday. Everybody needs to take a holiday, a break, and not be, doing stuff. So they all decide they're going to go for a joyride. That's where they're going to meet, Doom. They meet Doom, Dr. Doom. So I think that this one's kind of nice because you get to know more about the characters. So I really like the story. The only problem, it isn't Dr. Doom they meet. I'm sorry. They meet Siren's relatives. His cousin. I'm sorry. Black Tom Cassidy. That's who he meets, and then Juggernaut, who's the stepbrother of Xavier. And then they're there to capture them. And they put, they trap Storm so that her claustrophobic kicks in. And she gets really, really stressed by that. So. But I like the episode. I like the issue. The issue is a really good issue if you want to know, you want to see the X-Men start to gel together you want to learn more about them, because it's more, you start learning more about Storm and Wolverine and Nightcrawler and all of them, and Cassidy and they're all the bad guys and things like that. So I think that's good. Now, I have to tell you about these reviews. I am not writing anything up, as you can tell. I'm just doing it off the top of my head. I know these comic books pretty well. Sometimes I might say things and my brain is not thinking. It's thinking something else, so it says something else than what it wants to say. So I would love to be able to read these to you. I have seen how people do it. So how people do it is they take different pictures of the comic book, right, up close. Like maybe they'd show this one, right? They'd show like that picture, and then they would tell you the story. They won't read it. They just tell you the story. They narrate it, right? They keep out things. So in this one, we're going to learn about the Juggernaut. But I wanted to look at the back, because the back, of course, has Wolverine. And this is going to be one of the stories about Wolverine. And I love all of the stories about Wolverine, because I got to see where they created him as a character, and then how they built him up and have added his story, and they killed him off a couple times, and then they added his son, they added his daughter from another timeline, and then they added X-23. And so I got to watch that, and I thought, that one's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how that goes down. So this is called Tag Sucker, and he's talking about how things were before. I've joined the X-Men now, and since New York is their home turf, I've come to make it my own. Don't much like cities, too big, too crowded, too flaming noisy. I prefer the wild country. And then so he's like talking about that this is Times Square. It's called the flashy trash heart of the Big Apple. Some apple, some heart. And he's walking along, minding his own business, he says, when all of a sudden, out of the blue, every sense kicks into combat mode, right? And he goes, tag, sucker, you're it. And he, behind me, and he looks around, I hear the laugh. The guy was close enough to touch, and I was alert. Why didn't my senses warn me? What the blaze is going on? And I'm not really reading the whole thing. And so he starts tracking down who this person is. Like, he's got to find this person, right? And then he ends up in Chelsea. West Side Saloon is where he goes. Old, rough-edged neighborhood, turning young and fancy as the gentry move in. And so he's like, it's not crowded, and he decides to sit down. He said, some guy says, you looking for trouble, fella? Nope, just being careful is all. Pays to be careful. Pays more to be considerate. If you can, my friend, take it outside. So he's talking about it. But then he starts watching the people in the bar, right? And he talks about himself. So this is why I love this story, because this is one of the like essential Wolverine stories, you know, where he talks about in his power, where his physical senses are really, really keen, and he lives by them. Others dies because of what they tell me, what I see, what I hear, what I smell, what I touch, taste, and feel. My senses and my instinct, they define my reality. And so he's like checking everybody out in the bar, and then he sees this face in the mirror right here. See, there's a face in the mirror. And he's like, he can't figure out what's going on. In the window, it's a window. I saw a mirror. So then he starts running out, and he goes out, and he's like, gone again, but how? But where? How so fast? Ain't possible for a body to cover his scent so completely. Unless he don't exist. My head playing games, or somebody with mental powers, or some gizmo playing with me. And he starts to have some issues, like he's questioning what's going on, right? And then this woman comes out, and everybody starts screaming and everything, and then they find out that there's this woman who's dead, and he hears laughter and whisper in the wind. And so he starts tracking it again, trying to figure out where it's all coming from, right? And then he changes into his costume. That laugh, the way the woman was killed, the whole game of tag strikes a chord in my memory, one I wish I could forget, and sends a thrill of pure terror through my heart. At Battery Park, with my back to the sea, I don my colors, my Wolverine costume, to make my stand. I show my claws, adamantium, the strongest metal known, bionically implanted in my forearms. My skeleton's laced with the same stuff, making it virtually unbreakable. Alright? And there he stands, waiting for the person, his enemy, to show up. Who's a sneaky little person. And it says, Wolverine, Weapon X, X-Man. Hunter became the hunted. Killer about to be killed. And it says, tag again, sucker. You're it, and you're out. And he throws him into the bay. Right? And when he finally gets himself out, because here's the thing about Wolverine. Normally, he would die at the bottom of the water because he's too heavy. He can't swim to the top. He has to walk his way. And then he suffocates, and then he comes back, and then he suffocates, and then he comes back. So And he says that. He says, old hatreds never die. Ours won't tonight, though he did his best. He tore out my throat. Should have suffocated, bled to death, and drowned. But the body heals faster than it has to. I'm a mess, but I'll survive. And so I love it because one of the things, again, in the future that we don't know about, but in the future for Wolverine, is that him and Sabretooth continuously play tag all the way up until, I think, middle of the, 2000s. And then they go off on a whole nother storyline with it. But up until that time, that's you kind of meet Sabretooth. And so in the classic X-Men story, it's about them battling their fears. So in the case of Storm, trying to battle her claustrophobic fear. And then also trying to deal with Juggernaut. And we learn more about Storm's past in this episode. So this is one of those great ones. So that if you wanted to know more about her origins. It says, so when she was 6 months old, she remembers her parents and stuff and how they wanted to go home, how her mother wanted to go home to the north of Kenya. She was very, very excited because they were going to Cairo, but she was so excited that she was going to Kenya. And it says, and her father says, sometimes wonder how David Moreau, inspiring photojournalist, got the nerve to ask an African princess to marry him. And then he's all, look at Aura, she's only a baby, she looks like she understands every word we're saying. And then her mom says she's a very special child. I knew it from the instant of her conception. And then the planes come and there's some warfare that occurs, and the plane hits their house and buries her mother and herself, and she's stuck under there. And when she comes to, she ends up starting to wander. And you have this whole backstory they talk about, and I would suggest that it's one of the best that you learn about as she learns about herself and then coming to New York and everything. But it talks about, it says, there was darkness again, blessed Oblivious, but when she awakened, her mother's body was gone, and Aura was alone with the rock and rubble jammed in close around her, sealing her in. And then she meets, so one of the backstories about Storm is that she meets the King of Thieves, Akim El-Gabars, and you find out later that he is a Shadow King. That's what they call him. And he can physically, he doesn't have a body. He attaches himself like a parasite to people's soul and then travels around like that and has constantly been chasing after Aura because he trained her as a thief, and then she was able to leave him, and that wasn't really allowed. And then in this episode, we also learn about Xavier's love there, Elandra. And so he's all like, he has this thing where they were talking about, the X-Men have been ambushed by Juggernaut. You must leave immediately and give them assistance. And Scott says, no, I'm not going till Jean's out of the hospital. And he's like, you're putting one person against your whole team? And he's like, I am, because this woman's more important to me than anyone else. And besides, he said, even if I showed up there, what would I do? And as callous as it sounds, it looks like that time is not, because he's thinking about leaving, and so he's decided that he's done. And then Xavier, in an uncharacteristic like Xavier, because prior to all this, all the way up to this, Xavier seems like this really great guy, and then he yells at him, that he's this horrible person, that he took in and gave him help, and then he's like, oh no, Professor, because he starts, no, not my mind, not again, and he's like, what's going on? And then madness, images, sensations, and he sees this picture of the face, And then we cut to this scene where he's like in space and this person's talking to him. And why do you torment me? Why will you not leave me alone? What do you want from him? And everybody's like, what's going on? And uh, Moria tells him, McTaggart tells him, he's having an out of the body thing, and then he's having a seizure, and he says, that's why he summoned me. And then he's like, I don't care what the professor told us. You're no housekeeper. Who I am doesn't matter right now. And he's all like, Charlie, as she calls him, that's the most important thing. And then Moria tells him either Charles of mine is, either he's going crazy and he's slipping into madness, right? Or he's talking to somebody, but nobody knows what's going on. And so that gets left later on. And that's where he meets Elandra is where my comic book collection for the Uncanny X-Men, which was not called the Uncanny X-Men at that time, but that's where my collection starts, is that series. Because they meet the Starjammers, and the Starjammers are, the captain of the Starjammers is Scott Summers' father. So it becomes this whole interesting thing. But then they go back to the whole fight with the Juggernaut and Colossus, and they defeat everyone, right? And then that's the end, because the fall of the tower is the next part. So if you were going to read any of the classic X-Men, I would start from 1 and move your way through, because you see a definite change in the comic book as you go through them, and it's great. So next week I'm going to talk about, we're going to start with the Uncanny X-Men, which changes their name, and we're going to do kind of from where this ends. I have the classic X-Men past this, just so you know. Or maybe I could pull those out. But the only part of the classic X-Men after this point, after I get to where my original comic books are, is the backstories. So I have read them, but I haven't read them like over and over again like I have the X-Men stories. So I probably just start with the Uncanny X-Men now. And the X Factor is going to give you more of a taste of the original X-Men, but I don't have any of those comic books. I don't have any before you start getting, before where Classic X-Men started with the 1975 comic books. I don't have that. Alright, so I know I'm not reading them, so we don't go as long. But I am going to now start my Fox that I'm working on, remember? So today, but I did want to show you, I did buy another, it's not a big one, but I did buy a new Lego set. And this one's for my son. So he picked it out, and we're going to do the axolotl. And then he's going to take that home when I'm done with it for his birthday. And my daughter wants this huge one that is from Lord of the Rings. It's $130, so I have to save the money to buy it, because I bought me an umbrella for my back porch. So I'll be buying that from the Lego shop, and that's, I don't know how many pieces that is. Let me find out really quick, because I think it might be bigger than the ones I have so far. So let's see. I wanted to see the ones that come out. So the one of the creature, I forget its name all the time. She sent it to me. But my brain doesn't work very well. It's the blog that creature that Gandalf meets in Lord of the Rings, where he won't let him go any further. Thou shalt not pass. You know, at the end of the first one. It's one of my favorite scenes in Lord of the Rings. So, where is it? You can turn it into like it's a book thing to hold your books up. But I wanted to know. So, it's a book nook, is what it's called. I wanted to know. Lego Company. That's the wrong one. They don't have it. Let's see an image of it. Yeah. You have people trying to sell it for $250 online. So it is probably one of the bigger ones, 1,201 pieces. So that would take me, I don't know how many packages it would be in it, but it would take me a while to get through it, I'm sure. So, alright, so we're going to start with our Lego. So, when I'm done in 2 weeks, today and then next Tuesday will be when I'll be done with Fox. I don't know, next Thursday, this Thursday, and then this Thursday, and then the next Thursday, I will be done. So I will start this in July. Somebody's home. Alright, so we're going to do this. We're on number 4. Number 4. And we're going to talk about some journal stuff. But I am not going to be doing journal today. I'm going to do a different art project. Okay? Just so you guys know. So, that's not something you want to be sticking around for. It's fine. I understand. See? We got one more package after this one. So we're going to do this one. Number 4 is what we're doing. Hey, Cuzwall. Lego time. Yeah, thanks for showing up. Lego time. Did you see what the next one is, Cuzwall? Did you see our next one? We're going to make the axolotl for my son for his birthday. That'll be in July, though. You did. Okay. Sorry. But like I said, we're going to do this, and then I'm going to talk about some journal stuff, some ideas for you, and then I'm going to show you a project you can do at home if you are interested in do some artsy fabric stuff. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. You can do it however you want. So. My fox does not want to stand up. Oh, there she is. There she is. Water Dragon hype. Yes, I'm also making, in the process of making a history of Azariel. I found some videos I made on TikTok of when she was a baby. Yes. So I will be making those as end videos for my streaming, along with some other ones, some more vacation ones and stuff. So hopefully you guys will like those too. There we go. Alright. We need one of these. We need one of those. These, one of those. I need these brown ones. I do not have my glasses. I think it's this one. Looks like it. So we need 4 of those. I guess we're making 4 of these, 4 of those. These are the feet. We're making the feet. It's the wrong color. This one here. The 500 piece set for the fox. I don't think it was a 500. I don't remember what this one was. I'd have to look it up for you. This was less than the medieval dragon. The medieval dragon was 700 and something. So this one may have been about 500. You're right. You bought a small wooden, like, octopus? Ooh, that sounds cool. That sounds really cool. That one there. This one here. That one there. Octopuses are one of my favorite things. I got the background set up for my Raven, the Murder. So I have a series, a painting series I'm doing. It's going to be pretty big series. I'll be working between that one and another one I'm doing. So this series is familiars. That's what it's going to be called. And it's all the familiars you could have as a witch, different witch, that I think. So there's going to be all kinds of weird stuff. Yeah, it's 3D printed. So, oh, that's cool. So, okay, this one goes on here. And then we do this one here. And then that goes here. Click. Click, 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 click. Click, click, click. Put your feet up, please. Put your feet up, please. I did see, so I've found a car that I'm going to get. It's $24. Lego car, and it's a blue Mustang. Hopefully it'll still be there when I get back. And that one will be up for anybody that's interested that wants it after I build it. So if it's something you're interested in, well, son of a bitch, let me know. I'm probably going to be playing Atom Fall a bit because I'm very interested in the whole story, the whole gameplay. So, okay, so we gotta make the rest of these. Roger's having fun over there. I'm pretty sure Uncamped is streaming, so I don't remember what he's streaming now. I think it's Planet Zomboy. Yeah. So he's streaming over there. I did if you could scroll up, I did a Uncamped thing. He's playing Project Zomboy. So Friday, I think I'm going to start the new game. The witch game I told you about, Rika. I think it's Rika, is how you say it. So I'm going to start that. And then, well, actually, I think I don't think this is the last Friday. If it's not the last Friday, then I think it's the right time. I have to write down the things, figure it out. Figure it out. You haven't played it. You should play Atomic Heart if you really want to play a cool little game. I think Atomic is only on Xbox, but I don't know. Could be it's not. So there's the little feeties. Look, there's the feeties. Woo, feeties. Feeties. Let's see, really quick. So, Adamfall. It came out in March 27, 2025. So it's a relatively new game. So some of the reviews say that the game is boring, not worth the price tag for 15 hours of storyline, and overall says it's basically a reskin of any 2005 game. Is that what it was? So that's kind of interesting. Let's read the Wikipedia real quick about it. So, Adamfall is a 2025 action survival game developed and published by Rebellion developments. It is set in an alternative history 1960s where the wind-scale nuclear disasters turned much of the northwest of England into a radioactive quarantine zone. The game was, it is on PlayStation 5. It's on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox, and Xbox Series X and S on March 27, 2025. It received mixed reviews for the critics. And I could get that because there's something about it. It's interesting enough for me to want to play it, but there's something about it that just kind of feels a little odd. Because it's a lot like Fallout, so you would think that it has almost kind of the same style of story, you know. But Adamfall is an action game played from a first-person perspective. It's set in an alternative history in which the 1957 wind-scale fire covered much of the Lake District, Cumbria, in a radioactive fallout. Players can collect various resources and scraps to craft weapons or use firearms to defeat enemies, though ammunition is scarce in the game. While Adamfall is billed as a survival game, players only need to manage the player's character health and heart rate. Combat, sprinting, kicking enemies will increase the protagonist's heart rate, resulting in darkened vision and muffled hearing. Stealth tactics can be used in the game, can be completed without killing any enemy, and killing all the characters in the game is also an option. That is my option. The English countryside of the Lakes District is a series of interconnected areas which can be freely explored. Players must interact with other non-playable characters and select dialogue options as response. Players will eventually acquire leads which will lead to new objectives and on. So I think for me it's the exploration and the story mode of it, of which I'm not going to read the story mode per se here. I am very interested. So it does, okay, so I was correct. It says Adamfall was developed by a British developer, Rebellion Developments. The game was inspired by Fallout New Vegas, which was described by Ben Fisher, associate head design at Rebellion, as a dense experience and one that valued player choice. Instead of building a single large open world area, Rebellion opted to build several smaller but interconnected zones due to the team's expertise in crafting maps of similar size, having worked on Sniper Elite series, Metro, and BioShock. Metro and BioShock also influenced the game design. However, unlike these games, investigative gameplay was prioritized by Rebellion in an attempt to promote players' freedom and facilitate world building. Fisher described it as a desperate survival game. Both the player character and the enemies in the game are easily killed. The team compared the gameplay to the film Children of Men, in which players assume control of every man instead of a skilled fighter. Players assume control of an everyman instead of a skilled fighter. Pulp Fiction also influenced the game, with the Quartermass Experiment, The Prisoner, The Doctor Who, The Wicker Man, and Day of the Triffids cited as the team's inspiration. Okay, then it says Rebellion Developments announced Adamfall in June 2024, and then it was released in March of 2024. The expansion pack titled Wicked Isle was released in June 2025, but I can't buy it, so I don't know. I looked at it, but it's not available, and it's like $18, and since I haven't bought the game, I'm not buying. But I did go to see it, so oh, interesting. Anyway, so there it is. That's the thing, and we will continue to watch it. Well, there is. Most people did not like it. Do I have a mixed review? Yeah, I have a mixed review. Is it? I started playing Metro one Halloween, and I will probably get back to it someday. I would love to play all the way through. I think I was playing Metro 2. And I just haven't gotten back to it. Because that is another game that, to me, doesn't have a whole lot. It's a lot of fighting, but not a whole lot of... I didn't find a whole lot of exploring. I thought it's more fighting than exploring. I like to explore. So, I have played all the BioShocks, though. And they're all on my I streamed them. The third Fallout was looking alright. Fallout 3 is awesome. I have played that 8 times, and I've streamed it, and I made videos of it, and I enjoy it. Stretchy lives near the Lake District, you believe. And maybe he'll play the game and see how it looks, too. You should tell him about it. It's not... So, I don't... To me, it's not a fast... I think it's not like a... it's not a... it's not fast, you know, like some games like Elden Ring. It's not like Elden Ring. Elden Ring's like, and Dark Souls, it's like, they're like fast games. You can only go so far to explore, and then you get attacked, and then you keep getting attacked. This game, and Fallout's a lot like that. Fallout, you do a lot of traveling in, lots and lots of traveling in. So Adamfall is a lot like Fallout 3 in that aspect. I think, though, there's a little subtleness to it that makes it... I can see why people said it's boring. It's not boring to me because I'm exploring and I'm playing the quest. At some point, though, I'm pretty sure it, like most games, it'll become tedious and kind of drag a little bit. But I know nothing about the game, so that works. But we're gonna put I'll be pulling Fallout 4 Monday, I think. I'll either be playing Adamfall, because the goal is to get these games done, and then I can go back to the games like Fallout 4 and or some of the other games that I have played. Alright, so now we need this little thingy bob, this one there, and I need this one, and we're gonna pop it till it clicks. And it goes click. Click, click, click. One of these. But I like it, so as long as I like it. Interesting, Fallout never had vehicles to use in the Big Mac. I just think because the idea that the scavenger was a little hard to come by. Couldn't scavenge him that well. There you go. I mean, there was always a suggestion for making it, but I think it went under the idea of the pulse. So if you had a nuclear bomb, there would be a pulse thing. Maybe. I don't know. They never did explain why it wasn't. I'm sure there's a Reddit post someplace where somebody talks about it, but they've never really actually explained why there was not vehicles. Because there are parts of Fallout 3, especially, that would have been great to have a vehicle. Or boats, or a motorcycle, or even bicycles. Bicycles have been great. BioShock has vehicles. Is that what BOS is? I don't know some of the acronyms or abbreviations of it. BOS and Brotherhood of Steel. Oh! Well, that would make sense. The Brotherhoods they always were collecting. Have you played Fallout 3? Well, not Fallout 3. Have you played Fallout New Vegas, Cuzwalt? Because Fallout New Vegas kind of explains that the Brotherhood of Steel is really the collector of the old world inventions. Everybody else is kind of just wasting their time. Trying to survive. Not wasting their time, but just trying to survive. You've played Fallout 4 and 76. You haven't played that. Oh. Yeah, that... Fallout 3, it's fun. It's a different than Fallout 4. Though, of the two, I would say probably Fallout 4 is a lot more like Fallout 3. New Vegas is fun, though. But New Vegas and Fallout 3 are very much similar games. If you can play one of them, you can play them both, kind of thing. Okay, so this is going that way. This is going right there. Alright, and then this one is going right there. I guess so. And then that one is going here. Oh, I screwed that up. That's not where that's going. Okay, so that one goes this way. This way. Right? And then well, that's not going to go on there that way, so I don't know what they're talking about. So that's this way. It is saying it goes this way, but I don't. Okay, that's what it says, but I don't see that being a thing. Alright, we'll try it again though. Yes. No, that's not right either. Problems everywhere, problems. Okay. I did watch the Fallout season. It was very fun. Actually, I don't know that. How is that being attached? Okay, this is not making sense, so I gotta think about this for a minute. Maybe it's the other ones. Maybe it's not that one. That's why it's not doing it. I don't see any of those ones, though. Where they're upside. Oh, there it is. No, yeah, there's one. And then I need another one of those. There it is. Okay. I was like, that's not making sense, but now I got it. I did see the Fallout. It has to go that way. There it goes. And then this one has to go this way. Fallout is my one of my favorite series, for sure. So if I had a choice to play a game that's like it, which Adam Falls close enough, so that's cool. Then I'm going to do so. I think though, I'm going to see real quick what the review says. There was a Reddit review that said that it was boring, and I'm not sure why. It would probably be one of those where you should watch the, you should go watch the guy that before you buy play, because he's all like saying that. So it says, is Adamfall worth buying? Whether Adamfall is worth buying depends on what kind of experience you're looking for. It's unique, atmospheric, and sometimes quirky game with a strong emphasis on exploration and player choice, set in a post-apocalyptic British countryside. However, its combat and some other mechanisms are less polished and might not appeal to everyone. If you enjoy games that prioritize exploration, a strong sense of atmosphere, and a less is more approach to storytelling, then it's likely worth checking out, especially if you can get on the Game Pass. Right. So I think that's it. If you find that the yeah, so there's a lot of things that people are saying, is it a British Fallout? But it's not, because there's things that are not like Fallout in it. And again, I think that it is a preference to what you like. As long as I'm enjoying it, I'm going to play it. I mean, because it's not a hard game for my hands. So as long as it's an easy game and I can play it, that's what I'm going to play. Oh, look, we've got best views on Steamboat again. 76 tends to be a bit tedious for me. And I didn't like the fact that Bethesda, it's kind of the same problem I had with No Man's Sky. I didn't like the idea that they took away what was basically the concept of what I felt like the game was supposed to be like, and then they decided to change it because people got upset about it. I feel like that Sean Murray, and I may be wrong, was trying to build a game where you were all alone in the world. You know, like, because you were just a figment of someone else's, like a programming figment. And I got that sense when I first played No Man's Sky. And 76 was this idea that you were this lone person, like you are in Fallout 3 and Fallout. You come out of the well, in Fallout New Vegas you don't, but in Fallout 3 you come out of the underground bunkers, right, the shelters, and you come into a world that you are unique in. One, you're healthy and you're not a raider. That's one of the things. And you didn't have to live outside and survive. You lived inside and survived. 76 was the idea, was very much closer to when the bombs came off than 3, 4, and Fallout New Vegas were. So there weren't be as many people, and I didn't have a problem with that. I liked the idea of you traveling through the wasteland, reading the stories of these people that got left behind, and some of them who were still there after the bombs fell, and how it was the world was affecting them. I thought that the lore in Fallout 76 was fabulous, and then everybody complained about it, and everybody hated it, and everybody was upset about it.
I loved being alone in that game.
In Fallout 76?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they changed it. And then they changed it.
Yeah.
So that you weren't alone anymore. And I didn't mind that you could play with 4 friends. That was okay. That you had 4 friends that you could play and play against. That didn't bother me. But it did bother me that they had to bring in extra NPCs to make everybody happy, because I didn't feel like it followed the storyline. But that's just me. That was the same thing I had a problem with No Man's Sky. I like the idea of being alone, it being aware that you were alone in this great universe and trying to struggle and figure out where, you know, how you fit in it, and, you know, the fact that if you did meet other people, they were like you. And everything was a mystery. I thought it was a really cool... It was a lonely game. You're just running around all by yourself. I mean, that... But, I mean, that's kind of the emphasis of it, is that it is a lonely game. But, you know, people get mad about weird things. Because if you'd played Fallout... The thing is I think that because Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and Fallout New Vegas were all so much further in the future than Fallout 76, there were other NPCs and people that had been struggling for a long time. And so it didn't feel as empty as Fallout 76 did. In Fallout 76, all you had was these pieces of lore of people who used to be there, right, who had not been there yet. The stuff that was from Fallout, from the Shelter 76, and the fact that it was all creatures. That's all that was left were creatures. And I think that was just too hard on people. It made sense, but they didn't like it. I liked it, but, you know, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. Roger liked it because he's a weirdo. Roger likes the idea of being... He's a hermit, though, so it makes sense. And I'm not saying I like being alone. I just think that it made the whole idea of what Fallout 76 is about, you know, or what the whole storyline was about. Where's my pieces? I need the pieces. I don't see the pieces. There they are. There's one. Where's the other one? I see one. And Adamfall has a very interesting story, and each little area has a story of its own, and then it all has one big story. And it's still, I'm new in the game, and I still have not hit all the stories. I think there's people that could probably hit all the stories pretty easily. Okay, I don't. Okay, that one's on there, but where's the other? There it is. You may download 76 again. Yeah, I'm gonna do 76 when I'm done with Fallout 4. I like 76 as a game that you can come back to. You can play it, you can come back. You like getting the lore stuff, yeah. Me too. I like the stories. It's not to say I don't like other games that don't have lore. I enjoy the stories. I read a lot. And I have decided when I'm done with my comic books and my graphic novels, we'll do books again. It's been a while since I've read any. I've talked about books. Just been busy with other stuff at the moment. We'll chit chat about that. I was gonna get some of the. I'm gonna see if I can find some Warhammer books, and then I'll make actual reviews where I talk about the lore in it. I won't read the books, but I'll talk about the lore. So, let's see. We need this one. We need 2 of these. 2 of these. As long as for me, as long as I can play it because, you know, it doesn't hurt my hands. If I can play the game, there's not a whole lot of I have to bounce around kind of thing. Then I'm okay with it. The stories and stuff. And it could be that with Adamfall, like they said, because the combat isn't very challenging, that a lot of people didn't like it. But because it doesn't hurt my hands, that's great for me. And I like killing everything. It'll kill everything. Just get rid of it that way. So, 2 of those. Do I have 2 of those? Alright. I'm trying to pick a day to do, so I might take a Thursday out from Legos, and I might, and everything, and we'll do paper, because I don't know how long it would take for me to go through the beginning of making paper to the end of making paper, so I have to kind of figure that out. And I have to live stream it from my phone, so it's kind of wait until I got my Surface Pro, because then I would have a better screen. So I have to kind of decide how I'm going to do that. So I will keep you guys all aware of that when I know what I'm doing. Let's see, so this one goes here, and that one goes there. Alright, and then this one goes here. And that one goes. Oh, I see. I'm gonna do this one. I was like, why do I have 2? Okay, so this goes like this. Top. That one's on the top. Oh, I see. These go on the side. These go on the side. There's that one. Okay. I see. I see. That one's not a fit. Take this one. Must be that way. Must be. Do I have a 55-gallon drum? I'm not using a 55-gallon drum for paper making. No. Nope. We're not doing it that way. What we need is, I need 2 plastic containers, which I have. And I need something dry, some place to dry it on, which I've got a table set up outside, so that'll be fine. And then we need a blender, which I have. So that's why I said I want to show you it through the whole process. And to do that, I have to... We got the umbrella. I got the umbrella. It was on sale, so I got me an umbrella for my outside. And then you need 2... You don't need the 55-gallon drum. What you need is... I got rid of a lot of stuff, but what you need is at least something that will hold enough water and the sludge to be able to put your screens in. So, and you can do this at home. So, you could go out, especially if you're handy with a hammer and nails and a stapler. You can go and get yourself wood like this size. It's on my edge here. And you make like something like this, like a triangle, or not a triangle, a rectangle or a square. And then you'll put a screen across it. And then you want another one that's just a little bigger that goes over it like this, catches it like this. And there's a reason for that. And you don't want anything on this side. So it would just be the outline of the square. Like this would be a great outline for paper making. But then I'd have to get rid of this part right here, which I'm not sure if I think it's just glued on here if I wanted to recycle this. And then you would staple a screen across this as tight as possible. You would staple your screen across it. You could overlap it, I suppose. And then you'd want a second piece, like I said, that's a little bigger, that goes over it. And that's just to hold your screen in place so that and get a nice straight line when you're making your paper. But I am looking forward to making paper, so it should be fun. Should be fun. So we need one of these. And we need this part. And this one goes on there. And I literally do. Oh, there it is. I was like, I literally do not see those. Oh, the second one's from me too. And then you need at least 1 tub, like I said, for your water and your slush. And that's it. You don't need any other tubs. 1 tub. We'll do it. And then you need your blender, and a shredder is really good. So if you can shred your paper rather than tear your paper, it makes better paper. But I have a big thing of shredded paper. And you can color your paper different ways if you want to color it. And then you can, we can add dried flowers to it. That's always fun, like lavenders. I got tons of lavender I can add to it. That's the right one. And another one of these. Okay, this goes in here. And then that goes on this one. And then this one goes here. How does that go? I like that. I see. Or we can put rose petals in them. I have other flowers too. It doesn't have to just be rose petals. You can place stuff on top of it after you pull it through the water on the screen. I want to try to get really thin paper. which is hard to use with recycled paper. Thin paper is usually like linen. You've got a fabric component to it. Okay, we're going to turn this over. I'm going to stick this one. Oh, I see. Yeah, so we're going to put one of those and then 1, 2. Alright, 2, 3, 4. So, but you could do paper at home. You need a plastic tub, at least 1 to 2 feet deep. A decal, which you can buy a set. I bought a set on Amazon, but you can make them, and you just go down and buy a screen, like you put in screen doors or your window. And then you need a blender. But you don't have to have a blender. You could do the pulp and beat it with a hammer. It just takes longer because you just need to get that texture to break down. And then you put your slush in. You would tear up your paper, put your slush in, and then you pull it out. So the only thing that I would say that you have to be careful about is is that you don't you don't want to use magazines. Magazines have a shear on them, on their papers, and it just turns out nasty. It has a nasty feel to it and everything. So you don't want to use, you wouldn't want all your paper that you're making to be from magazines, because that's just not great. That looks nice, babe. Good job. My artist partner. And if you use newspaper, recycled paper, copy paper is really the best, but any art paper too would work really well. Tissue paper works. It just has a different texture to it, and usually you can use tissue paper to color your paper up, so that works out. There's that. I'm going to go back over here and put this one on here. Need 2 more of those. There's one. That's not one. There's that one. But like I said, I'm going to show you guys and we'll walk through it. I just was like, I was thinking I'd wait and get, in August I was getting my GoPro. Not my GoPro, but my Surface Pro, so that I can do better videos. But, you know, we can do it with the phone if you guys don't mind the small screen. Perfectly fine for me. Perfectly fine for me. We need one of these and one of these. This one goes here. That one goes there. Did it go there? Oh, I feel like it wouldn't go there. Did it go there? Let's go there. Let's do that. Because I feel like it doesn't go there the way they said. Unless I messed up something. No, that goes there. Yeah, it says it goes up here. But I don't, it doesn't want to go up there. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I got it up there. It didn't want to go up there. Okay, then we need 2 of these. Everything I show you, Caswell, anybody else out there, you can do. It's not that hard. It seems daunting because it's just getting started. And I have that problem too. It's just starting things is a problem sometimes. And I will walk around for days thinking about it because I'm just afraid I'm going to screw up. But if you don't have any high expectations of what you're creating, it won't mess up. It'll just be fun to do. Okay, so we need the big one. Let's go this one here. So we're going to take this, and it goes here. Yeah, that goes here. That. It goes like that. I mean, down the road, I might want to do building those little miniature paper boxes or whatever they are. Not the boxes, but there's this, like you build dollhouse style things, but out of little folded pieces of whatever. I turn this over, and we're gonna put these in there. It's really weird. I can't see it. Hang on. I mean, I could show you how to make polymer beads. Those aren't hard to do either. Sometimes they don't look the same way, but so then we want this one right here goes on the bottom of it. So, oh, that's one. Okay, and then I need this one. And I think that one. And we are going to put this one over here on this. That way. And then this way. The upside down ones sometimes are hard to do. So I need to this one. It's gonna go there. And then this one is gonna go. I don't know which way it goes. This way. I don't. How did they pop that in? I guess I have to pop it in afterwards. Okay, wait. So put those, and this goes in this way. Goes on the back here. I see. Okay. And then that one goes. I messed this up. I do. I messed this up. No, I didn't. That was right. No, it's not right. Looking at it, thinking it's right, and it's not right. Explains why it was hard to get on there. I forgot a piece. Oh, you fuck. Doesn't want to get off of there. Okay. That's the part of it. That's part of it. It's weird how that works. Okay, so this is facing this way, right? And this one goes on here. Right, there's that. And then this one goes here. And that one goes And then this one goes on top of that. Okay, so we got that done. And we need this. And one of these. Oh, that one there. This one. How that goes. Looks like it. Which is weird. And then this one. And these two. This little one here. So now it goes now. That's one of those stupid ones. It's hard to put there. And this one.
Yeah.
This one goes there. Okay. And this one goes on the side right here, apparently. Like that. Like that. That's how you do that. And we make another one. Like that. Take this one and take that one. Put it on. Got it. Oops. That's not right. Like that. We hope it's all going. Well, no, that's my goal, is to make art festivals and go there. We haven't been to any actually this year. But I'm planning on making at least by next year, I hope. I hope next year is when I get to go. I hope I get everything done by then, because that's what I'm working on. I'm gonna be, as I finish each painting and or tarot card setup, I will be turning them into stickers. And then once I get enough of them, then I will be offering stickers and other things. And then I'll be going to festivals, I hope. We'll see. Next year, though, I think what we're working on, me and Roger are working on going someplace. So, that's kind of what we're doing. I got this stuck. It doesn't want to unstick on me. Unstick. Would love to go to some more. I'd like to be. We did go to one. Where did we go? Oh, we went to, so we have a Saturday morning market in Eugene. And, it, has art stuff there. I was, like, trying to figure out where I'd just been lately that had art. All kinds of cool stuff there. I bought a bunch of stickers there. this part is the one I'm having problems with. This goes here. Yeah, then this goes right here. I was like, why can't I get that done? And then this goes on this side, right? No, that one has one. There's that one. Where's this one going? On the top. Must be going on the bottom. No, it shows it on the top, but I already have one on the top. Did I have that wrong? I guess I have it wrong. No, this one has its own. What the hell does this one go? This one has it too. I don't know where this goes. It says it goes on the side, but I don't know. There it is. I was like, I already have it on the side, but I don't. I lied. There it is. Okay, so then these two go together. Like that, I guess. Or like this. Aha! There we go. It'd be the fox's tail. Alright. I don't know what's left then. 5. Oh, the tree. That's what's left. The fox is done. We have a little tree that goes with the fox. I'm like, what goes with the fox? What does the fox say? Okay, and then there's the tail. So see, look. The tail wags. Woo! This one turns. Whee! So you have movable stuff. And then the last one, number 5, is the... I'm pretty sure it's what it sits on. Let me see. Because I don't need an extra tree. So I might start the actual oval next time. Yeah. So it comes with this. See right here? It comes with a tree. I don't need to do the tree. Nothing personal, guys. But I don't need a tree. The fox was for me. I just need the fox. So next week we'll start the axolotl. Now we're going to do some art stuff. And these might start to be longer art ones than things. So I'm just going to put these out in my Lego thing. And my fox is done. Woohoo! I take picture. I like the face. Alright. What does the fox say? So, wasn't as hard as that stupid dragon. The dragon was probably the hardest one. Actually, we can open the axolotl really quick and see how many builds there are to it. I think it's only like 2. Maybe it'd be 3. But let's open it anyway and take a look. It's got this thing where it says you push it, but it doesn't want to push. Sorry, that was loud. It still doesn't want to open. Oh my gosh. That's bad. Take it. That's me and the parrot. So me and Georgia do tug of war, and it goes arr. She goes arr. Well, it won't open. I can't stand things that don't open because it irritates me. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 2. So we have 2. I'm waiting for when they start sending me paper bags. So there's the flamingo. We don't want the flamingo. We want the axolotl. I don't think I'll build the little coral part of it, though. I don't know, maybe. So we need 1 and 2. So apparently in this build we do 1 and 2. So I could build this, or we can go on to art. I can open it. My fingers are not very good, so that's probably the problem for me. I would recycle these bags. So there's a way where you take plastic bags and take an iron and a towel, and you lay the iron down on a low heat, and you put your plastic bags down, and you can layer them to make them thicker, so you can make stencils, or I watch people make purses out of them. You can make recyclable carried bags, you know, the bags that you put your groceries in. It's all kinds of weird things you can do. There's a lady on YouTube who does upcycling, and she makes all kinds of cool shit like out of things out of old blue jeans, things like that, like earrings and stuff. So, not really my forte. I like recycling, but I like artsy. How do you do artsy stuff? Pretty sure that's all. That one's all the little plant. Little plant. Pretty sure. There you go. Well, maybe not, because this looks like a plant. My son's birthday's next Tuesday. He will be 21. 21! Woo! Of which he wants to do absolutely nothing but go to dinner. That's it. Go to dinner, and I don't know if his friends are taking him out or not. So I started walking again. Well, actually, I've started walking, bicycling, and jogging. I need to lose weight. So I have my diet. Today I made from a Hungry Girl recipe. If you guys get checked, I found out she's the exact same age as I am. Well, I think she turns 60 before I do, but I may be wrong on that. But yeah, so I made a bacon cheeseburger casserole. To me, it looks like a pizza without a bottom. It has eggs in it, egg whites, so that was interesting. I haven't tried it yet. We'll see. It's for dinner. I made it for dinner. Okay. Such a pretty color. That's Ariel's colors. That's why my son picked it out, I'm sure. Okay. So, if anybody has a Lego kit that they really want to be made, you can get it for me and mail it to me. So if that's something you want to do, you have to go to my Discord, let me know, and I will send you my address through an email exchange. And then you can mail them to me. And then I will put them together and mail them back. I'm perfectly fine with that. That's something people are interested in. We need the one. I don't think it's that one. We need the ones that go. Is it little ones? We need one like this, but it's a bigger one. When you first start your Legos, because there's too many of them, it's hard to tell. Oh, there it is. Oh, we got a new one of these, so I don't need a new one. I don't know. I think so. Yeah. Well, yes, it should be. It should be, because I didn't get my Christmas gift. Let me check. But I'm not keeping them. So here's the thing. This is just if you want it built and want to see it built on stream, because I don't need Legos I'm not interested in. I like putting them together, but I'm not necessarily always interested in all my Okay, so my wish list has my name on it, my correct address on it, which I can share in my Discord. And yes, it has the Secret Santa one also has it. But my wish list is the one that I would probably. I don't know how to put this down as a thing now. The link or select invite by email. Well, that was what I wanted, but it didn't say that. Well, my address has changed. I don't know how to. That one's no longer available. Dress out. That one. I'm sure we can. Now you got me doing something else. I have to look into this. I don't remember how to do this. But my address has changed. That was what you were asking me. But, okay. So, I just want to make the Lego bits with gifts to other people. Yes, that's true as well. If you wanted to pick out something. Or for anybody. If you have somebody you want to send it to, you send it to them. But yes, it could be that too. I don't mind building the Legos. I enjoy building Legos. And I enjoy streaming it and showing you how to build it. And I let my kids pick out ones they want, so I build it for them. But I don't need... I'm going to be on 60 years old, and if, let's say I live another 40 years, let's say I make it to 100, I still have to have some place for all of this to go when I die. So, Feely said hi, Roger. Roger. Feely said hi.
Feely!
Hex says hi. Okay. So I'm just saying, you guys, let me know. Tell me what you want to do, and you can send it. You want to send me a big one? I'll do a big one. You want to do little ones? We'll do little ones. Not a problem. I found it. Ha 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 ha. And then we need little feetsies. I'm pretty sure that's what these are. Is it that one? Yeah. Okay, so. Okay, then we need this one. I've seen this guy who makes 3D printing axolotls, and I really wanted one, but when I went, I couldn't find the right person, because the Instagram was actually a lot of people, so it wasn't just one person. Okay. Oh, these are going to be hard to find in here. Not that one. This one. This one. Hopefully that's the right one. No, it's the wrong one. I need the other one. Not that one either. It's the wrong one. That one. Nope. They're all facing the wrong way. Does it matter then? Maybe it doesn't matter. Beep, beep, beep. I'm guessing it doesn't matter. Alright, well, we'll just put this on then. This one goes here. Yep. And then that pretty peachy pinky color. This one. Yeah, I'd like to get a 3D printer down the road, but not right now. I got no place for anything else in my house. As it was, my grandson would like a guinea pig, he said. And I gotta figure out where I'm putting a guinea pig cage. So. Because it has to be a nice sized cage for guinea pigs. They're like rabbits. So I have to figure that out down the road. Down the road. Guinea pigs, and we'll do film guinea pigs. Won't that be fun? And I have to find out where they have female guinea pigs because it's hard to find them. Because if you buy them at Petco, they're just males. And female guinea pigs are friendlier than male guinea pigs. They tend to be more lovable. It's not a just, I mean, each guinea pig has its own personality, but females are easier to deal with. And you don't want to, and they are like rabbits. They breed pretty heavy, so you, and axolotls, so you don't want to mix them up. That's what happened with my daughters. I got one and had a male that she named Winter, and then they gave me another. Somebody had another one they needed to find a home for. I had bought her one, and then the teacher I was working for had another one and needed to find a home for it, and promised me it was a male. Was not a male. So I ended up having 3 baby guinea pigs as well, who I had to find homes for. My rats did the same thing to me. The store sexed them wrong, so I ended up with 1 male and 2 females. So 1 of 3 females. So I had baby rats for a while. Had to find them homes. Then I got snakes and I just fed them the babies, so that worked out well. I didn't get snakes to feed them the babies. I just ended up having snakes for some guy. So what it was is some guy had these 2 beautiful corn snakes, and one of them was a little bit aggressive, but not too bad. And they moved and couldn't take them with them, so they asked me if I would take them. So I did, and then I had to get rid of them because when I was feeding them, when you fed them, for one thing, they were kind of problematic. But they would get hungry they'd bite you if your hands smelled like mice, so you had to be really careful. And if they got overly stressed. So I had to find them a new home, which I ended up just taking them to Turtle Bay in Reading. It worked out alright. That's the wrong side. that. Take this over. Put that other. Pink colors on. Let's go that way. This one goes this way. I'd love to do 3D printing. Oh yeah. I've seen them making cool little characters. I'd be all like, yeah, I want to make those. And you make your own Warhammer characters. Make your own D&D character. My son was doing that for a while, making his own D&D characters. I don't know if he still does. Because the filament is expensive. You have a nice mop inside your room. Grace, Boo Boy's dad really likes moths, and so does my youngest daughter, sister. So how about? Oh, I see what I'm doing. We need this one, and then this one. Summertime. Been really cool here lately. I just don't want to go down. Go down. Go down. Okay, and then this goes right here. Is that how that goes? What's that part? I'm very confused. Oh, I see. It goes like that. Huh. Look, it's an actual auto body. I have a body. We have a body. But we have lots of Legos left, so. And then a green one. Not that green one. This one. This goes here. And this one goes here. We're gonna quit in a minute. Now you're thinking about Mothra? Well, there's Mothra, then there's Mothman. Isn't Mothman the one in Fallout 76? I think so. What kind of Warhammer character would you make? I'd make some Chaos ones for sure. Or maybe some Sisters of the Battle. Or maybe something mixed in between. Women ones. Female ones. Roger. If you could 3D print Warhammer, what characters would you make?
Orc.
Orc?
Yeah,
all the
orc.
way?
Orc.
All the way.
Yeah, fucking orc. I'm in for fucking orcs, man.
I do
orcs.
orcs.
Fucking orcs. Orcs are always down for a good fucking fight. Hell yeah.
I told him I'd do something maybe from the Sisters of Battle.
Yeah.
Or Chaos. Some of them wicked women ones and the Chaos ones.
Oh, Slanesh.
Those demons,
Yeah,
the
fucking
demons.
Slanesh is a fuck.
Yeah. Those were the that was my army. Was a Chaos army when I started building.
That part is
We hit him in Warcraft 3.
okay.
What are you bargaining about?
Lord.
Roger's all about mayhem. Remember that. Mayhem. That's Roger. Roger's mayhem. Okay, we're going to be stopping this in a minute. I'm gonna do my fun times. Orcs. Yep, orcs in Warcraft you don't like. This one. That one. These are going at the end down here. I feel weird that maybe that's the back. It just seems like the front.
Thank you, Georgia.
Pretty pink. We had Georgia out earlier today. I don't know why they're different colors. Why don't they make little pink ones? Maybe because they're harder to see. I don't know. We'd have to Google it and see. I don't know. I don't keep on top of Warhammer. So Roger did buy me Lord of Change, which is kind of a type of dragon. And he's going to put it together and build it and clean it up and paint it for me. Pink and black. That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
You're gonna kick my ass.
Do it slowly, love. Do it slowly.
I will. I'll be able to do like a win a week.
So, Roger and I am going to do a tour of the U.S. and we're gonna go see a couple of streamers. I want to go see Ashenda in Florida. Go have dinner with her or lunch, however. We'll go there. So our plan is trying for next summer. But it might be the summer after that because I'm also trying to save enough money to take my daughter on a cruise. We don't want her to know. Me and my other daughter are doing it because she always does so much stuff for everybody. So we want to take her on a cruise. So we have to wait for Roger to get a truck. He's looking for a truck. One that he could fix if it breaks down. So I don't want to be traveling to Colorado. We're going to go to Colorado, Texas, and Florida. And the whole purpose of the trip is to go to Maine. I want to go to Maine once before I'm too old to go anywhere. Okay, so with those two. Go to Maine and have clam chowder. That's my plan. Then, if I'm still around in 5 years, I want to take my daughter to Salem, Massachusetts, so we can go do the witchy stuff. And that'll be it for me. That'll be it. Gotta have goals in life, I'm telling you. Gotta have goals in life. Remember that. Things that you want to do. Then you gotta try to make them happen. I've done more things as an older person than I ever did when I was younger. I did travel all through California though. That was one of my goals, is I drove my car to every little town you could find. I've done that here too. So there are still places here I have not seen. This one got stuck, so I can get it off. It's about to come off. That's in the way. There it goes. But you know, things can happen and we all die, so the whole world could also implode on itself. Who knows? But we can only do what we can do. Ooh, caught it with my legs, man. I did not want to. Okay, so we're going to put this last little piece together. We'll finish this again next Thursday. If I could get this on, this would be great. Oh, there it goes. And we're going to start some art stuff. Time for art. We have a song, an art song. So, I used to call my art videos just good enough art. There we go. Alright. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about some art stuff. I have to take a picture of this and see if this. If you're interested in making lobster main, is best. I don't know. Haven't been to Maine. So when I go, I'll let you know. I will be taking pictures. So we talked about, using different types of paper. But I want to let you know that art journaling has hit the mainstream. Martha Stewart has been doing stuff about it. Everybody's been doing stuff about journaling. It's been around forever, but it's interesting. So now you can actually buy books. This has 180 pages of paper that you can create and craft with. Now, I've gotten others of these books. I had gotten 2 of the other books that are like this, and I have used them. But I wanted to let you know that if you're like, I just don't want to create all this stuff to do art journaling, but I want to do I want to make the pockets. I want to make stuff like that. So if that's something you're interested in, this is the book for you. Now, it'll come with beautiful papers, first of all. Okay, like these side papers here are just wonderful. Here are these pictures here. I will be using some of these. I'm going to put them in my daughter's. See, now these are cards, postcards, journal cards, either how you want to use them. Okay, then there's these ones also. And then these are like these could be made into little journal things. You close them up. And you put something out here on it, like you could say, I don't know, dreams. And then in here, you would write that. Or, there are envelopes as well, and you could make envelopes down the road. Okay. The only problem I have with the book is they use glue a lot of times to stick things in here. And then you get you get little spots. But other than that, see, journaling stuff. So you can take these pages out and fold them up, and then people have a really pretty thing they could journal. And then you can envelopes. We talked about it. Here's a nice pattern for envelopes as well, and you can put those things in it. So I'm just gonna go through here real quick on this. Now this is the magical one. I have gotten flower one. This is from the flower one, which I'm going to be using for an example, for a model for my next challenge I have coming up. So these are all envelopes. You can just fold the envelopes and they could write in them, but you can also put the paper in it. It comes with stickers. These are stickers that put, like, address stickers. I use them as just regular journal stickers. I put them on and then people can write on them if they want. But then just paper. There's just tons of it. My only beef I had with these is that they do these 2-sided papers. I'd prefer this page and then a blank page. Like a solid color page. Same thing here, then a solid color. Because then you got to decide which ones do you want. Which page is the page you want to use. There's really no way to make it so you could do both. Then you have here where they're telling you how you can create your own wall art. But what I do is I pop this out and I pop this out and I use this as a frame. And I use these as like little journal cards. So I'll show you. It just pulls out. And then again, though, 2-sided, so you gotta decide which side you like better. Which annoys me. They do re-bring them up. So you see there's that picture and then there's this one here. And these are more wall journaling like. What I would do with these is I probably would make a envelope that has a clear on both sides. And then I could pull that in and out so they could look at it. This is also another heavy card that you could use something with. Again, the 2-sided drives me nuts, but it is what it is. So you can't use the whole pages. There's no way to use them things. These are bookmarks. These are journal cards for writing on, or you can use them as gift tags, whichever you want. And you have more paper. I like that one. And then these are more cards, which can be used to be written in and put them in your little envelopes that you got. These are invitations you can use for tea parties or whatever. I would probably put these all in together as a kit for an invitation, and then write that down that you have, you know, use these for an invitation, or don't use them as a journal card. More stickers. Coloring pages. This is new. They didn't have coloring pages in the last one. But again, the problem here is you got coloring page, and then you got these cool pages on the other side, and it's like, which page do you want to use? I love this one, which is, I'm fine that that's on the back because I won't use that. And the moth one I'm going to use. So I got this I didn't get for me. It's not from my journal. It's going to be for my daughters and my sister's journals. But I just wanted to let you know. And then these are all the papers that come in it. So there's that one, this one. They're completely pull out, so you can cut pieces and images on them. Here's that one, steampunk style. This is a giant rose, and then you also get journals in that. So they give you this one. This is the list journal. I just pull them. I pull the pages out and put them in the journals by themselves. Here's another one. And then these are more of the wall art paper styles. So I will be building some stuff with that. And this was the other one on the other side, but I'm going to be using that one on mine. And then these are ones I did like, and I'm pulling out to use in my journal. This one ripped, but otherwise I do love that flower. And then there's that one. So I'll probably paint this one. I'll probably color this one and put it in my journal. So I wanted to talk to you about that. Then I also wanted to let you know, another thing you can do in journaling is, like, my mother sends me these cards. They're absolutely beautiful cards. And what I will do is cut this out, and then I will glue this on something, and I will use it as a journal card. You know, and the same thing on this side. She did a thing, so I would cut this out and put it on a corner. She knows I do this with the cards. She also knows that like I had told you before, we were gonna make, and I'm gonna show you how to do it, is take one of these, and we're gonna make little journals out of them. But this one's going in mine. I've got some from my kids. This one too. So cute. And then I bought this, and this is going in my journal. This will be the end of my bookmarks. So I always make the old-fashioned bookmarks with ribbon and beads on them. And so I got these for that. Because they're roses. Because I like them. Because can't wear jewelry. So, and then that paper I showed you. So here's another one of those journal things. Right, so here's the flower on it, but this is the one. So this style, these ones right here, these two pictures right here specifically, this one, that one, this one, are going to be my models idea for the next challenge. And the challenge is wallpapering. It's supposed to be cottage style, like what you would put in a cottage. I'm going to do it with a witchy theme. Everything I do is a witchy theme. But tonight, what we're doing is fabric art. So I bought these white pants for myself, and I want to paint them because I can't wear white. White is bad. I will get white dirty no matter what, no matter how much I try not to get it dirty. So what I'm going to do is, this kind gentleman a long time ago bought me fabric paint. And I haven't had a chance. I haven't had a chance to put it on a stream. Now I did make my dress for the wedding I went to, was used with my fabric paint. But what I'm going to do, I'll show you that. The same style that you do on paper, you will do it on. Now these are my pins. I bought these pins a while back. Some of them are really old and still work. Some of them are like 11 years old. And some of them are newer. This one is fabric markers. I got it for Christmas. But then there are these ones that are neon. And then these are another style. Of this same style here. This is another style here. Okay. So what we're going to do is you're going to need a dark colored one. And I'm going to start with the pocket first. And you're going to do the same thing as you did on the paper. You're going to make squiggles on it. And each of the areas I paint are going to be different. And I'm going to probably do this every couple of times in stream. I'll do some journaling, but we're also going to complete these pants, because that'll be fun. Okay. You know what you can do? I'll do one on the other pant side. I will do lines, because you do not just have to do squiggly lines. You could do straight lines. Now, I'm not just scribbling, I'm kind of thinking of how I'd like this to look. Okay. Now, I can use pins also to color in. So, like the real small stuff here, I could now, sometimes I tie-dye my stuff before I paint them. I have done that too. So I'm going to use the pins on the smaller parts. And then I'm going to show you how to do it with the fabric paint, which I don't know if I brought something fabric paint on. Maybe we'll just use paper, that should work. Pink is one of my favorite colors. Now the fabric art, the fabric paint that this person a long time ago bought me, does have a brown in it, so I could do pink and brown too. I know, Feely, these are like my favorite patterns, round, soft ones, but we'll make square ones too, because the square ones can be fun as well. So you could buy yourself a set of pins. These pins right here, these ones and these ones, I think, all, and the other one too. These all can be bought at Walmart. Fabric paint, a little hard to find, but you can find on Amazon if you want. And I know we haven't done a whole lot of journaling, but I hadn't planned on there being a time I had finished my journaling. Now, the question you always want to ask yourself is, do I want to make it all colored in, which I probably will, but if I'm going to color it all in, what's going to be colored in? And so I'm thinking I'm going to do the gold in the big spots. I think my thing might be too big, but we'll see. We'll see here. I have nothing but scrap paper, so finding paper to use is never a problem for me. Especially if you make ultra books. I mean, you're going to go through paper like... I don't think this one's been open at all. Open. Let's see if I can get it open. These are difficult for me nowadays. My nails are so brittle lately. That was probably my side effect for menopause. Gosh, shoot me. Shoot me. Oh, stop. But you do want to, you can't, like me. That's true. One of the websites that I use for art supplies.
Okay.
It's a pretty good price. Let me
Dark.
let's see if I can find it. Black Studios, I think, is what they're called. So you have painting on fabric with acrylic paints is possible. You can do that. You can use acrylic. It will paint on cloth. These particular paints take the more texture of the thing, but I was trying to figure out if I have the one. Probably need to go through this thing. Yeah, so it's called Blick Art Market. So it's BLICK. And they have a little bit of everything here. So we could go, so like this. You can buy fabric from them. You can do art stenciling from them. They do metal craft, cosplay supplies, home decor. I don't see fabric paint. There you go. So they have fabric paints here. So here's a. If you're interested, here's one. So you can check out that. That's Dick Blick. They're probably a high quality. They're high quality art stuff. So you know, depends on whether you need the art high quality or the low quality. You can do low quality. Okay, you can pay less for high quality paint. It's hard to come by, so you gotta really be a shopper and look for it. So I'm gonna do this differently because I didn't want to do. I don't care if it goes over the lines. So you might care if it goes over the lines for you, or you might watch it and go, God, I can't stand when people go over the lines. But I'm not really worried about this. It's not sharp and clean that I need it to be. In fact, I probably prefer it this way. Because then I can. But I can do paintbrushes too. I have paintbrushes. I don't know. I do it this way. And then you could do, so here's the thing. You could get sponges like this. I don't buy from art shops. I buy from wherever the brand that I want is. So Walmart carries my acrylic paints that I like. They're not too expensive and they produce a good texture and color. If you go to an art store, you're going to pay double. There's a really nice art store in Florence, which is by the coast. But she is pricey as well. But she has a lot of unusual stuff and she'll have sales. So whenever I go, I either plan to spend the money or I will look for her sales when I go. Most of my craft stuff, except for my paints, and most of my art stuff, except for my coloring media, is from thrift stores. So my stamps, for the most part, my stencils, if I'm not making them, I make stamps, I make stencils. Styrofoam is really good for making stamps. You can use it on anything too. So alright, there's that. I like the sponges, but I got these sponges at when Joann's was closing, and they were $10 for 100 of them, all different types of shapes. This just happens to be my round one. I'm not a true artist in the aspect of I am very artistic and I create what I think is nice art, but I don't buy expensive stuff. They haven't. I don't know if they're completely closed, but the one in Eugene is closed. The one in Springfield might still be open. The one in they started closing in February, I think, and we used to visit them periodically. So it depends. I mean, if you have a Joann's near you, you could check, and they might still be open. Okay, so then we did that. So I'm gonna do this. Oh, actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do. And why am I doing that? Because it's a good way to get rid of your excess paint. And it's just fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun! That's why. That's not necessary for furniture and jewelry. What are you talking about? Really? In comparison to making it? Where'd my pen go? This one. Damn, I put purple there. Because purple and gold, because purple and yellow are contrasting colors and always look fun together. Pink's contrasting color would be a green, like a neon green would be the pink contrast, so that would be pretty. Which I have, so I might put that up too. But whenever I find something that fits me that's white, it gets painted, it gets dyed, it gets something. Oh, personalizations of jewelry and other stuff. Oh yeah, there's all kinds. I used to make jewelry. Not metal jewelry. I used to make polymer beads, and I would do people's names in polymer beads. In different ways. You could do it flat and write their name and then put glitter or whatever on it, paint, whatever you wanted. Or I would make the letters. And I have no idea what these pants are going to turn out with. So I'm going to put all kinds of stuff. I might write stuff on them too. Your ex-girlfriend did that. So we're going to do this. See if this purple works. Some of my pens might not work. This one's working fine. Okay, so when I get close to about 15 minutes till I'm gonna end. Well, no, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe a half an hour till I'm gonna end. I'm going to play blueprints. I want that purple back. Give me the purple. Well, I want the green. Let's see what the green looks like. But you could just do shapes like I've done where you just do hearts on one whole side. I've done, I don't know if you guys remember, but I painted boots up. So this one almost looks like a yin yang. What if I can make it look like a yin yang? Let's see. Ignore that one, probably. You can put handprints on, like your kids' handprints. Those are always fun, too. Sometimes I'll put symbols on here, like witchy symbols. You could do that, too. So that looks like a yin yang. And to make it, I would have to put one here. I don't know if that pink's going to make it pop up, though. There you go. Yep. I made a yin yang. Shapes are visual. Depends on the shape you want to do. Like, I think that when I make circles, if I want the circle to be perfect, I'm gonna go buy a stencil, which I have. I've got stencils and cutouts that I can make that are circles. But if you want to make a circle, you can make squares or whatever. We could do that too. We could just make tons of squares or whatever. I mean, you have that ability. You could take, so you do this free art like you do like this, like where there's no thing. And then you could take a flat edge surface. Let's do this one right here. We'll do it green. And I could go across here. See? And now I've got these straight lines in this. And there's all kinds of things you could do. You could put eyeballs in here. Let's do eyeballs. I can't visualize them either. I can't look at something and say, oh, here's how I want this to look. I just have to do it. And then the only things I can do is I can look at a picture and copy it. So if I want to make something on something, and I want to look at it to see how, I have to have a model. I can't draw from my head. I've tried, I've worked at it, and I don't do well. I can draw faces because I've practiced them, but I still have to have an example of where I think the shading's going to be, because I just can't visualize it. I'm sure that Feely, on the other hand, his brain works really well at that, and the more he practices it, the better it works. But when we think about where do I want to put, how do I want that to look? And like when I did this, I had no idea what I want to do. Once I start making it, I have an idea. And like I said, I like freestyling better than I like. But I could also do, since this is a back pocket, I don't know if I would, but I could make like a snake up here, or I could make eyeballs or whatever. I could take a picture and look at it and make a butterfly, but I can't do it for my head. It's been a while. Yeah. So I do what I know I can do that I enjoy. We tend to it's why I like drawing. I like being a mixed media, because I just do what I want to do, and if somebody likes it, that's great, but if somebody doesn't like it, that's fine too. I mean, it's not a requirement for people to say, oh, I like your art, or I want your art, or this is, exactly what I was thinking when I thought, oh, I'll wake up this morning and buy something that's artistic. And you could just do, I could do just all lines. I don't have to do circles, like I said. I'll do that one there. And like I said, I got images in my head I can't get out. So I have to figure a trick to get them out sometimes. Sometimes I'm good at it, sometimes I'm not. I think I'm going to do some black here. Like my last challenge, it didn't turn out quite how I visualized it in my head. And if I had had more time, I tend to procrastinate things, so if I had had more time, it probably would have turned out way better. But I tend to think about things. Like I said, sometimes even I want to do something, but I'm a little fearful about doing it because I'm afraid of how it's going to turn out, so I don't do it. I don't really want to put my pink there. Let's do the gold. Where is it gold? Whoops, she used her fingers. Yeah, I'll use my fingers all the time and stuff. Because I like it. You have to be careful putting the pins in the paint. Because they don't always do well after that. And like again, overlap is fine. Make sure it's clean. Because the paint can dry on the marker part and then it won't work well. Should we do another purple? It might be the same color. Just easier to use than the last one. I have a neon pink too. I was going to see how that turned out. That green is really bright. I wonder if this green would be better. Let's see. Or if it's also a dark green. I'm sure I have a neon green in my paints. Yeah, it's pretty dark too. So they're all pretty much the same color. I was kind of hoping I'd have a neon green in there. I know I have a neon yellow. Somebody bought me a whole bunch of extra sets once. There's this one. Maybe this will look better. Let's see. Now that's yellow for sure. Not green, but yellow. So another thing you can do is you can take your fabric paints, water-based with the marker. I don't know. I'd have to look at them. Probably. Guess I have to be able to hold up to washing. It says it's a permanent fabric marker without setting, so I would guess it would be. Fabric paint has something different in it to make it adhere to the fabric. I'm pretty sure that makes it different than just using regular. Because you can use Sharpies on your fabric, like this fabric, like jean fabric. Sharpies work really great on it, and they'll stay on it for a good long while, as we all know, watching kids color on their fabric. Which my kids, I let them do all the time, but some people don't want their children doing that. Let's put this in here. Or here's so like this part right here, so it has a little bit of gold on it. So I'm just gonna outline it briefly. And so, like down here, I got gold on it, which is fine. And I could even do where I went like this. These have this on them, but I could also go like this. And if it was still wet, I could get color that way too. I mean, however you want to put your color on your things is fine. I know a lot of, I'm not gonna be genderly here, but a lot of males don't color their clothes. They don't learn how. Now some of the best tie-dye artists though I've ever met, quite a few of them are males. So even though they won't paint on their fabric, they would they would do that. Though there's this one guy I watched who did absolutely beautiful real life looking pictures on fabric. I was always like, I wish I could do that. Like they look like transfers, but they weren't. You can watch him paint. So it's kind of cool. Okay, so I'm going to end this here in just a minute. I don't know what I'll do next. Next Thursday yet. I'll probably get back to some more journaling. And maybe a little bit of painting. I don't know. This is sunk down in there. Oops. Ugh. Well, I was going to say it was sunk down there pretty well, but not now. Similar to the same shade of the... So here's a mess that I made. Not on purpose, just because it was down so low, but I'm fine. Again, because, well, we just do different things with it. You're gonna hear that. Why is the water drying up? Oh, the new chiller's working really good. I'm gonna make a video, some videos of her pretty soon. She's doing pretty well. Pretty much the same as a plant would. She's doing as well as my roses are. We didn't lose her, so that was good. And the chiller didn't cost as much as the first one did, so that was good too. Alrighty. I'm going to take this down here and wipe this off. Maybe I'll do some spirals. I love spirals. I love spirals. They're one of my favorite designs to do is spirals. But she's doing fine. She wasn't eating for a while, but now she is. We'll do that. Then we'll paint that next time. Okay, so I'm going to move over to blueprints because we haven't played that in a while. So it's going to be just a minute as I move some stuff around. Okay, so just kind of watch that for a moment. You're going to lose the music here in a second. That should be fine. She's out there. So I hope you guys enjoy some of the stuff. And if you don't, I guess you don't need to come back. But so here's how it looks so far. All the way down. This part right here. And the only thing I'm doing in Blueprints is I am trying to finish some of those, get that one couple puzzles done. So maybe that'll work out. Also, I wanted to show you. So this is sticker paper, and I could cut out something and put it on here, or I can just draw directly on it and then cut it out. Someday I will make stickers with my Cricut, because that's why I got it. Favorite puzzle of 2025. I still like the Da Vinci ones. Those are my favorite. This one's pretty fun, but it's not my favorite. I like the puzzles in the Da Vinci Code ones. The House of Da Vinci. I like those. Oh, that looks pretty good here. Roger's newest thing he's been painting on.
That's what I've been doing today.
Yep, this is today's stuff. It's great to go. Not be so blurry. Pretty colors though.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully your brother likes them.
Huh?
So hopefully your brother likes them. Alright,
Yeah,
so
he should.
here we go. That is awesome. That is awesome. Alright, I'm only going to do one of these because these take so forever. But right now, because I'm not doing anything but trying to get those rooms to come up. And I don't know why they're not coming up, but they don't. I refilled the fountain. I don't know how that works. I can throw a coin in there though. And get it later. I still figure out how to get the pool further down.
Okay. Now I gotta spend the next 10 minutes mixing this shit up.
I'm wondering if those chests show up all the time now. Yeah. And I need to figure out how to get the reservoir down. Okay, we're gonna do this one. Just because I have not been able to get classrooms to come out. And we've already done that. Okay. But I like this one. It's very challenging. But I may be calling it quits because, you know me, I don't need to. Or I'll just keep playing it every so often. See what comes of it. Now let's see if we can get some classrooms, so I like to get all the classes. It's going to be interesting, because I'm not sure how that's going to work. Library workshop, we're going to take the workshop. Get the slide camera. There's anything to do there. Observatory. Give me more stuff. Dead end rooms? No. I need no more dead end rooms. Okay. Thank you for that. Alright, we're gonna go. Alright, but we're not going down the chapel. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. I mean, okay. Not a thing for me. Okay, we need the office, but I don't have to. I don't need a laboratory. I don't know if the laboratory gives you anything either. I have looked and looked and looked. I don't need a breaker room either. Okay, fine. Let's just take that. I've already solved the puzzle of that. So there's no reason for that. I don't know if it's on or off. Might be off. We'll try off. I can always come back to it on if I do it. No, I need that one. Thank you. That's not what I want to do. Clock tower. I've been all kinds of fun ones. I'm gonna. I don't know what I want second though. You have to be able to get into the room all four sides for that to work. Oh, there's my classroom. And the freezer. And the furnace. So if we do the furnace, if I do the furnace I get more red rooms. But I think the furnace will make the freezer. I'm gonna put the freezer in, but this one's locked. Not going in it. I'm not going up. It doesn't matter. It don't matter, but that's fine. It's gonna be a problem now because I won't be able to do anything. Not gonna be able to do anything, so it's fine. I'll go buy shit. Library. Let's do library. I've already marked it up, so basically this. I just had to do it. I just had to do it. Now I need the furnace again. So we may or may not get that. I don't know. You know what? I don't know if I want to do it. This is going to be very boring because I don't have jewelry. I don't want that one either. Can't do that one. Don't want that one. Guess we'll do that one. I don't think I have anything in here. Nope. Okay. Well, we can come back. I'm going to do just a really short thing because I screwed that all up. I'll put the freezer in. It has to be towards the end of the building. I'll do that. I don't have any keys, so that'd be great. But now I won't be able to get either of the things I wanted. I'll make everything all very hot. I thought that might happen. I want to go back to see if the furnace is opening up the freezer. Or if you have to use the pump there and there. I was right. It's still cold in here, but I think you need the pump. You need to pump hot air in here. But I don't know how to get it warmer in here. Cause you get all this stuff from it, but I haven't figured out the trick of it. I haven't figured out the trick of it yet. How to make it warmer. I have to go back to the furnace. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna have to look at some of that stuff. I'm cold, I'm in. My accounts have been paused. Where can I go? I don't know. I think I dead ended everything. I did. It's all dead end, so I can't go nowhere. Well, that's fucked. Screwed that up. Won't do that again. Put the furnace on the very end. The ice at the very end. Well, that was a quick one. Because it's a small cottage, fire and ice, yeah. Cool. So, when I'm done with this one, that'll be it. Have to go eat. So I hope you enjoyed the stream today. Enjoy watching me not win this game. Station it. I was obsessive was here, has been like here for ever and a day. Said 100 days he played the game. I do like this game. It's just not my favorite game. It's probably my second favorite. I like the House of Tesla too, and Mechanica. Mechanica was really fun, but I think that was 2024, so. Because literally it's a game that's easy on your hands. Okay, we're going to do the shrine, and we're going to put in more. Because we've done 5. Let's try 10. No, I want to do 10. Okay. What happens when I do 10? Wow, the blessing of the general. If you draft a red room, after you draft a red room, if you have at least 5 different ranks containing red rooms, gain 5 things. 5 gems. That's interesting. Okay, now we've done 10. Now done 10. I don't think you can add more money either. Take back those? No. Okay, so I could take it back and get a different blessing. Alright, I wonder what happens if you take back the gold. Maybe you get cursed. There is a cursed mode, but I don't know if I want to play it. I don't know if I want to play the cursed mode. Alright, so tomorrow, that's what I was going to look at. Tomorrow, what are we playing? I think we're going to play Reka. It's either Reka or Reka, which is a survival witchy game. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's see. If it's the 3rd Friday. I think it's the last Friday. So it would be Vermintide, Infinity Genshin, or Part World. I might start Reka anyway, and then start my new schedule in July. Just because I haven't started Reka yet. I have to see if I can even play it on the computer, because I'm not very good with computer playing, and if it's a survival game like Valheim, I'm not going to do very well. Alright, so this way. Actually, I want to go this way first. Let's go this way. Oh, that was not useful. I've only done 20 of these successfully, which kind of makes me sad. So I've got like 20 more of these I have to do to successfully, not just do them. Okay, the black box and the blue box are empty. Every statement with the word blue in it is false. Well, that would be false. And that one would be false. So therefore, that one would be true. That one's false. This box is not blue. That's also false. Okay, so this has to be a false statement just all the way around. So that's false. So that makes this true. The black box and the blue box are empty. That would make the white box. And this box is not blue, which is false, and that's blue. So that's true. That's false. That is false. That would have to be false, and this would have to be true. So that would make this one where the gems are. We'll see. Oh my god. And I got my trophy. Woo! Logical trophy for winning 40 parlor games. It said I had only done it 20, so I'm glad I got that one. Way! Yay! That's a trophy I no longer have to do. Let's do that one. Go this way. Ooh, that was cool. I wasn't expecting that. We won't be zapped of our 4 coins. Storeroom. Cool. Would have liked it in the classrooms, but Alex Pharmacy. That one. Let's go through that one. Okay, well, I'll keep going on. I only got 1 key. Oh no. So that's if I wanted that. If I wanted to do that blessing, where if I had 5, if I draft the red room and then I had 5 rooms after that, I think that's what it was. I have to do this. We'll do that first, but I think that's what my slime is. What did it say? Yeah, I think it was, you got, the general was if you had the red. Can we get the...
Yeah, finally got to a good consistency.
And metal detector. Okay. Cool. I want it to go a different way. That's going to move that big spot there. That's alright. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Oh, and look, it's battery pack. If I get the workshop, then I'll be able to build me a thing again. Cool. Nothing of interest. Let's go to the coins. And I can't do that because I don't have a key card. Bummer. That's just a bummer. Dark room. We have a locksmith. We can have a laundry room. Laundry room gives you stuff. That's kind of cool, but I don't want to do it. I'll do those, but I'm probably not going to do it. Alright. We're going to leave the dark room alone for a moment. Oh, there's the boiler room. Where's that going to put it? Not someplace I need it to be. There's the courtyard. And there's the break. We're going to do the break room. We're going to do the break room. My pet love. I like the break room. I can come back here. Some stuff is in there, it's in here. Okay, these are gonna get tricky. We're gonna start with 10. We got 8. Could be 18. Minus 2. So we're going to say 8 minus 2 is 6. Divided by 13. 13, subtract 13. That won't work. So it has to be 18 minus 2 is 16. Minus 13 is going to be 3. And then we have 5. 3 minus 5 is going to be 2. Times 2 is 4. Plus 14 is 18. What now? Okay. You have 3. If you minus 5, it's going to be a negative 2 times 2. It wouldn't matter, that would still be... That's a times there. So that's times 2. That is a subtraction. That's 5. That's a minus 2. 2 times 4 is... 2 times 2 is 4. I swear to God, that's a plus. Lose a plus. So that would be 4. That'd be 18, and you're saying no. So I don't get that. So minus 2. But if we had 5 times 2, that's 10. But that wouldn't work because it's plus 14. If you have 5, it'd be minus 2. It'd be 3 times 2. Now it doesn't work, because it would have to be that number. It would have to be 3. So 5 minus 3 is 2. I think that's a subtraction. That's a subtraction. That's a multiplication. So 2 times 2 is 4. And then 4 plus 14 is 18. And it says no. That's no. I'm very confused. Yeah, I'm very confused here. I don't know why this one's not working. Because you have to start with the inner ring, then the outer ring, then the middle ring, and then the furthest ring. I think that's a division. So 3 from 2 is 2 is 2 from 1 is 1. 1 plus 14 is 15. Fuck no. I'm just driving me nuts now. Ah! Yeah, it is. And my brain gets squishy. Okay. I have 3. So minus 5, that's a negative 2, but a negative 2 is still 2 times 2 is 4. So even if it's a negative 2, well, no, that's not true. Negative 2 would be 0, plus 14 would be 14. Let's try that. Nope. Well, I've done everything I could possibly think of here. That's an add. Okay, this is 3. Alright, we're going to do it this way then. If 14 is the number, 5 is the number, minus 5 is the number. So 5, negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. Plus 14, 4. Ah, I got it. Just took me in. What was the game Gears of Eden you played about? Oh, you're a little rover on the moon. It was a indie game, and they sent out a whole bunch of people. They gave them, I signed up to play it, and I played it, and I gave them a review for it, and then I didn't play it no more because there was some problems on it. Yeah, it was a cute little game, but I can't remember what I put. I think they can add problems with my computer playing it. And they were working on it, and then that was it. Okay, so we have squared times. Alright, we're doing the square. So 3 squared minus 3 squared is 6. 9 minus 3 is 6 times 1 is 6. Fuck you. That one was 4, right? Okay, so the numbers, there's no middle number, the inner number is the first one that goes, it's 3. So 3 minus, I swear, 3 minus 3 squared is 9. Okay, for 3, and that would be a negative number of negative 6 times 1 would be 6, or negative 6. That's squared. It's times squared. Because that's pink, but I'm not sure if that matters. Well, 3 minus 3 is 0, which would be plus 1 is 0. There's no 0 on this, so it's not going to be that. Okay, 3 is our thing. We're on 4. So 3 minus 4 is 1. 1 squared is just 1. And 1 times 1 is 1. Cross our fingers if that's right. Nope. Okay, so 4 squared is 16. Minus 3 is 11. Times 1 is 11.
It's not ready to be shown to other people, but it needs to be touched up more.
That's very cool. Yeah.
No,
No?
yeah, it needs to be touched up.
Needs to be touched up. Oh no, you started to sound like the artist stuff. I finished the... You finished that one?
Well, I was using the original gem color that I was using, but it's too close to the color of the armor, so I had to change the color to a slightly brighter color.
Okay. So the middle part equals squared. Times 4? If that was 3 times 4, that's 12. Squared would not work. If 3 is squared, squared is still going to 1 times 1 is still 1. Four was our answer. 4 minus 3 is 1. 4 squared is 16. Minus 3 is 13. Times 1 is 13. But I already did that one, and it wasn't it, right? Yeah. My brain hurts today. Let's get a piece of paper out. The Prince of Persia game you finished. Well, that I played or that I streamed? Because I played one on the GameCube that I beat, and we made a long time ago, made videos of it. I played the ones on PlayStation in the early 90s and beat those. I have not played the newest one, though I think it's free on PlayStation if I want to play it. Okay, so it's going to be 3 times 1 is 3. That's not going. I gotta figure out what this one is. So we've got 3 times 3. 3 minus. I'm sure it was 4. The only numbers we have is 1. There's 1 and a 3. So if we do 3, which is minus 3, negative 3 squared, let's try 9. Haha! That took a while. It's not a trophy under there. And I'm sure I played more of these than I played the parlor game, but hey. Alright, so where can we go next? We're going to go this way. Right? Because I don't have the key to get out of the patio. It could be that. I already know it's something. We have the broken lever. Yay. I've played a lot of games. I'll have to go to my YouTube channel. There's tons of games there that I've played. Oh, I was going to do this. Oh, battery pack, broken lever. Oh, what's that one? Jackhammer. Sure, let's try that. That sounds fun. Haven't had that one, so that'll be a new one. That was a jackhammer. More effective than shovel. Digs deeper and finds better items. Breakfast milk. Breakfast milk. Oh, and the magnifying glass. Oh, now you give it to me, because I'm pretty sure I have to use the magnifying with the battery operator to make a fire starter. Or maybe I made the fire starter. What was the fire starter? Do we remember what that was? Fire starter and something. Maybe it was the battery pack. I don't remember. What's the pool? I want to see. I want to go see something. Do we still have keys? But I don't need keys because I have sledgehammer. Oh, the water's completely down now. Oh, what do you mean use my keys for? Oh, because I got rid of sledgehammer. Oh, maybe I don't have sledgehammer anymore. That's fine. I had enough keys though. That was the thing. So I see, yeah, you probably want to keep that now. Down. Oh, that's my swim trunks. Spare room. Kitchen. Oh, I'm sure we'll do the hallway. But I'm going this way. Okay, chapel, closet, walk-in closet. What the hell is this? I didn't even know what I was hoping to get. What's the other one I get? Maybe I get another one. Oh, I only got 3 items? What the heck? I was able to get 4, I thought I knew. Wow, that's just fancy. There's my t-shirt I bought, so it looks pretty. But nothing else. What the heck? Okay, whatever. It is whatever it is. Okay, there's the pump room. That's going to give me zip. Just check. Office is not going to be good either. Patio's the only thing I have left in the patio. I can't use the patio because I need the other key. Well, that sucks. I'm going to go check it then. I'm going to go check it and I'm going to put my new sledgehammer in there, check my item. And we're done. Alright, everybody have a great night. I will be back tomorrow evening, probably around 5 or so, 4 or 5 o'clock. We will be starting that other new game. See how it goes. It's a PC game. And then my puzzle games will probably be like Saturday nights or Sunday mornings or something. I think Atom Fall will be either Saturday or Sunday. So, alright, catch you later. Thanks, Cuz Walt, for hanging out. Thanks, Feely Boy, for hanging out. And whoever else are floating around out there. Thank you. Have a good one. Let's see who's streaming. If anyone. Who's still streaming? Well, let's go check out. Unkempt is playing Planet Zomboid.
Project Zomboid.
Project Zomboid. Planet Zomboid. Something.
Project.
I know, I'm just being funky.
Let's see.
Yeah, you should catch up. Alright, guys. Let's go check him out. Oh, that's just be me. Maybe 2. Maybe 3. Oh, well, we tried. He always has more viewers than I have. Tried. Guess I could have gone to Roxy too. I can't hear him, so. I'm sure he's chatting with me.